Here we are. It's Monday, December 5th. That's Trump Tower. These are the cameras. This process for selecting the Secretary of State continues. The sweepstakes, now expanded. Bolton, back in the mix. Huntsman, in the mix. Some others. Seems like, to some degree, the football is being laid out to be kicked at. Now, what are the cameras here for? Well, they're here every day. But today, at 10 o'clock, so that would be in about half an hour, there's supposed to be a press conference. I'm not sure exactly how it will be set up by Dr. Jill Stein about the progress or her next steps in recount, withdrawing the request in Pennsylvania, refiling perhaps in court. Anyway, it'll be here, and it's not raining.
You're off facing.
Close enough. Yeah, it is. There's a thing at 2 on Syria. There's a vote at 2 on Syria, so that'll be over there.
This is an issue of voting justice. We cannot have confidence in the integrity of the electoral process, and as Ronald Reagan famously said, trust but verify. We do not have verified voting in this country. The Green Party has long demanded it, and in 2004, the recounts in Ohio led to those reforms. The abolition of black box voting in Maryland, in California, in New Mexico demands for robust audits and state-funded recounts. Make no mistake about it. The Stein recount effort is about ensuring the confidence and the integrity of the election system as a first step towards genuine voting justice in this country. There is a growing movement for real democracy. The Green Party is proud to be in a leading role of that movement. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Jonathan Abney. He is the lead counsel for the Jill Stein recount effort and founding partner of Emory Selly Drinkerhoff and Abney. He has a diverse trial and litigation practice and extensive experience in both federal and state courts. Jonathan.
Sir, can you speak up?
not hide. Jill Stein is not hiding.
confronted with razor-thin voting margins in key states.
Okay, here we are. It's Monday, December 5th, and this particular entry to the UN Periscope is a bit later than usual, more than an hour. Why? Well, we stopped to cover the Jill Stein press conference, such as it was, in front of Trump Tower. Supposed to begin at 10. It was held in the street, so it was kind of unique. You had some people shouting behind, "She's a criminal, lock her up," other people shouting them down. You had about 6 speakers, including a longtime activist from Philadelphia. And whatever, you can find these in previous Periscopes. What we want to do here is to say, in the UN today at 2 o'clock, there's now at least scheduled a vote on Syria. Resolution by Egypt, New Zealand, and Spain seems to be superseded by an announcement by Lavrov that he and the U.S., or Russia and the U.S., will negotiate in Geneva on Tuesday, but we'll find out. DRC. There's some serious Ban Ki-moon nepotism problems, and a son-in-law who's now exposed as having been involved with a unit, the 10th Para-Commandos, who crushed civilians with tanks in Sri Lanka. But what we want to say on a more serious, on a solemn note, is that diplomat Sana Mabaniza died on Thursday. We learned about it on Friday and wrote an obituary on Saturday. Very sad, very nice person, also very sharp, very knowledgeable about the Security Council. He'll be missed. The world is poorer without him. One of the things we said beyond his diplomatic work is that he hadn't drunk the UN Kool-Aid, i.e., from our point of view, when Inner City Press was thrown out by Ban Ki-moon trying to cover up his own corruption, as well as Gallach, same game, with the Eng Lap Seng bribery scandal. Sana, who was not the permanent representative, but lower down, nevertheless raised his voice and got involved. And that's, of course, that's an injustice, not just injustice, it's a very telling piece of disgustingness of the end of the Ban Ki-moon era. But there are many other things that should be fixed at the UN. Maybe they will be. And look at this. The sun is out. The building is tall. It's the beginning of the week, and so it's the beginning of a process. There's a lot of waste that's got to be cleaned out. There's a lot of misreporting. There's a lot of things going on. But it's also pretty fun to do, and we intend to continue to do it despite the absolutely absurd censorship order of Cristina, the head of the Department of Communications, DPI, other journalists who don't even come into the building, who never ask Ban Ki-moon a tough question in their life, have the free run of the place. Inner City Press not only through a metal detector. One of the reasons that we cover the thing today is that to cover things such as a meeting that occurred today on the second floor requires a minder, and the minder demands to know who we want to talk to, who are we speaking to. Absolutely so shocking. When the full story of this is told, it will be something. But we're going in. There's the U.S. mission. They did nothing about the censorship, but they're on their way out too. So, here's to it.
Once again, we reject the charges against Rajab and call for the government's release. We have repeatedly expressed our concern about this case. We strongly urge the government of Bahrain, as we have in the past, to abide by its international obligations to respect and protect